Let's talk about the $2 bill. Thomas Jefferson, the third president, the primary author of the Declaration of Independence, the broker of the Louisiana Purchase, which doubled the size of the U.S. He was an architect, a scientist. He was eclectic and very quirky. Did you know that he popularized ice cream and that he collected mammoth fossils? Very interesting guy. The $2 bill was put into circulation in 1862, the same year as the $1 bill. And in its 19 variations. There's been 9 different presidents, generals, politicians. But the first to appear was Alexander Hamilton. He was the first Secretary of the Treasury and, ironically, the political rival of Thomas Jefferson because of their constant conflicting ideals. Then the Great Depression hits in 1929. And because most commodities cost less than $1, the $2 bill started to become obsolete. It was much less practical to use for everyday purchases, contributing to the bill's unpopularity and eventual discontinuance. Now, the bill started to get a really bad rap, and it actually became bad luck. Gambling tracks had a $2 window. Prostitution tricks cost you $2. Election rigging was very common, and guess what? The fee was $2, so that bill was evidence that you sold your vote. And deuce was the nickname for the devil. So recipients would tear off a corner believing that it would ward off their bad luck of the bill. In 1966, the bill was so unpopular, they took it out of circulation until our bicentennial for our 200-year birthday. The Treasury announced that it would be a cost-saving measure to lower production costs for the $1 bill, so they reintroduced it on Jefferson's birthday, April 13th of 76. They wanted Americans to use it and to spend it, but guess what? They didn't. The bill was so gorgeous, they wanted to keep it. And since people hadn't really seen it, they thought it was counterfeit. A Taco Bell employee called his manager, and they ended up calling the cops on a customer. The cops had to reassure him that it was a real bill, so they ended up giving the kid a free meal. A man was arrested in Best Buy in Maryland and put in jail until Secret Service cleared his name. Now I'm going to take you to Los Olas Boulevard in beautiful downtown Fort Lauderdale, Florida. It's the commercial and cultural artery. In 1940, Moss & Hoffman's high-quality menswear opened and remains there today. And at this very store is where my family's $2 bill tradition starts. After purchasing a shirt, you could see in the top corner, you have the unique option of having gift wrap of an uncut, uncirculated $1 or $2 bill. Now, of course, since 2 is better than 1, why wouldn't you go with 2? And since my dad's family moved to Fort Lauderdale, Florida in 1958, this became their thing. So for years, my Uncle Jerry Cashman and my dad have carried on the tradition of exchanging this exact same sheet of $2 bills to wrap each other's birthday gifts. So here my Uncle Jerry carefully unwraps the currency, stating, "Destroying this gift could be hazardous to your wealth." And of course, here's my dad, Dan Cashman, opening Jeremiah's gift this past June at his 80th birthday. We've watched the same sheet of $2 bills go back and forth every January and every June, every year. It's a tradition that we know and we love and we've come to expect. And today you can still get a sheet of $2 bills at Moss & Hoffman's for only $140 on top of your purchase. Now, sharing the quirkiness of Thomas Jefferson, my dad is known in Bismarck for his zany TV commercials. He has so many Christmas trees, they're coming out of his ears with earmuffs. Or you can call him at 222-tree, tree, tree, tree. Now, my dad's barber shop was located just below his bank in downtown Bismarck. So when Dan the tree man would go get a haircut, he'd march upstairs, he'd get a stack of $2 bills, and if you noticed and complimented his haircut, within 2 days, he would give you a $2 bill. Doesn't everybody's dad do this? Now, for some other traditions, here is George Bennett, the fundraising chair of Clemson University. And in 1977, the year after the $2 bill was reintroduced, Clemson and Georgia Tech football series was going to end due to athletic spending. And fans were outraged. So Bennett came up with an idea to show the impact that Clemson had on Atlanta's economy. He prompted Tiger Nation to show up with $2 bills stamped with the orange tiger paw so that the boost in sales at restaurants, hotels, bars, etc. would be undeniable. And you know what? It worked. The tradition carries on today, and the Clemson Tiger and the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets are due to play this Saturday. So when I give $2 bills as a tip to a barista or maybe on top of a tab, the common response I get is, "My grandma sent me these," or "The Tooth Fairy gave me $2 bills as a kid growing up." When recently chatting with my friend Chris Bart, She says she still has all 25 of the $2 bills that her grandma would send her every year on her birthday before her grandma passed. Now, locally loved and world-renowned Bozeman ceramicist Coco Costigan also shares this love. Her father, Bill Costigan Sr., loved handing out $2 bills to strangers, so naturally they nicknamed him $2 Bill. So she made him this license plate for his birthday back in '95. And to this day, she still has all of the $2 bills that her dad has given her over the years. On the left, this is Elizabeth from Becky's Diner in Portland, Maine. When I topped off our tab with a $2 bill, she proudly pulled out her stockpile. Bartender at the bistro in Livingston, Carly, cheerfully adds these to her collection. And Rachel Herget happily shows off her birthday haul. So when pulling out some twos after dinner at Shan this past summer, my buddy Bill Fry met me with even more. As the owner of the filling station in the Hofbrau, he says that people frequently tip in twos, and he always snags them. He says that counting the till every morning is like a treasure hunt, and he is here tonight, and he wants you to know that he paid for his cover for a PK in $2 bills. Now, last March at the Bank Bar in Wilsall, I tipped the bartender in twos, as I always do for our burgers, and my buddy Johnny B took out his wallet. He said this is a $2 bill his mom gave him when he was a kid. He carries it every day. Now, sadly, his mom passed away this past June, but he always has her with him in spirit. So special. Now, here's the funny thing. I personally do not have a collection of $2 bills because I always give them away. But if you were banking on me to end with a few puns, you know you can always count on me. Now, maybe you think that the $2 bill is just as sensational as I do, but maybe you think maybe this was just a little too much. Either way, now you see why I love them. They're fun, they're quirky, they're a bit different and beautiful, just like the people that enjoy them, right, Rustache?